Uncle Ron stuff. This episode is about making a data backup where you only have a C drive in your computer. That means that the data such as images, music files, videos, documents are all stored on the C drive, and what you want to do is copy those off to an external drive. And here I have, this is a USB drive that you can buy. This is a 1 terabyte drive, and I think it costs about $60, and it comes with a cable that allows you to connect the, there it is, allows you to connect to a USB port, and then you can write to it or read to it. Okay, so I'm going to plug that in and then switch over and plug it in here first. Okay. Then I'll be switching over to screen view where I show you how to do it. Now let me talk about data on the C drive. Once upon a time, it was totally up to the user where he stored data, and it still is to some extent. So when you install like Word or Microsoft Excel or Word or whatever it is, you have an option of where the default directory is that you store that data in. Most people just leave it in the default, whatever that is, or you may have changed it and put it somewhere else. Windows try to organize all your data for you, and there are folders underneath of the C drive that are called pictures, videos, and documents, I think. There's at least 3, and I'll show them when I bring them up. Videos, documents, pictures, and I don't know what the other one would be right off the top of my head, but anyway, that's where most everything goes that you, so if you try to download the images off your phone into your computer, you may have some option as to where it goes before you save it to your computer. Usually it'll go into pictures. You may have to create a folder inside of pictures someplace. You could even label it, you know, pictures off my phone or something. But anyway, in general, the data, the documents, the images, the videos, and the music is stored in folders under the C drive that you can get to. Now, I'm going to talk about users. If normally one PC has only one user, you, but it is possible that you share a PC with some other people, and each person has their password, and that protects their particular portion of the PC. And for every user, Windows creates its own set of pictures, videos, music, and whatever files. Okay, so you have to be, I don't have password on my computer, so nobody else shares them. But if you're in that situation where the computer is shared, then you certainly have to log in underneath of your username and password to see the folders of music and videos and documents, and I forget the other one. Anyway, that you could be able to see those with Windows Explorer. So that's usually where the data is stored. Now, I've been giving broken computers to, they say, can you get my data off of this broken computer? And I usually go to those folders and copy all of that off to a thumb drive or something else. And then I will have to do a search on the C drive looking for like .jpeg or .mp4. I look for videos, look for images. And I can often find those all over the drive in various places. Some people make mistakes. Some people, the applications were set up to store data in a certain place, like under a user. So it could be under C/user/Ron/picture/Adobe/whatever. So besides the folders that I've told you about, that Windows does try to say you should use to store your data, there could be other data here and there. If you know about it, you know where it is, then you gotta use Windows Explorer to get to it, make a copy of it, and then copy it to the external device you're going to use. Now, in my case, I'm going to use that USB drive that I pointed out to you. In some cases, you can get a 128 gigabyte thumb drive, and that may be sufficient to hold all your data. Those are down to, I don't know what they cost now, $40 each or something. I just use the USB drive. There's nothing magical about that, and it is rather slow, but nonetheless. So what I'm going to do now is switch over to screen view, and I'll show you how I'm going to take what's on this particular computer, and there's not a whole lot on C drive in the way of data, because this particular computer has a D drive, and that's where I save most all of the data that I really do want separate. So in case my C drive crashes, I've got it all backed up somewhere else. So let me go over to the screen view, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about how to do it. Okay, here I should be. This is my home screen. I've got my USB drive connected, and the first thing I'll do is check that the USB drive is in fact here. And here it is. This is Western Digital G, and I have already data on it, but that is immaterial. I have enough room, and I'm going to make a data backup here. So what I'm going to do is create a new folder, and it's going to be called Data Backup off C, and then I'll put a date on it, which is 21 Feb 2025. Okay, that's where I'm going to put the backups that I get. Now, where do I get the backups? Okay, over here on the left side, if I close up desktop, I don't see any of that stuff. So I have to open up desktop, and then I can go down and I'll see documents, and I can open that up, and there are documents in here, as you see, various things. In this case, Neuro Video created a subfolder underneath documents. So anything you do with Neuro Video goes in there. Here's collections, sound recordings. I have TurboTax documents stored in there. Here's a media converter. So there are things in documents. Okay, now I'm going to look down into the music files. You see right here, music. I'm going to open that up, and I have a couple WAV files, music files of some kind, as well as iTunes is stored in there. And then I'm going to look at pictures, and here is in pictures I have various folders. The camera roll is usually contents where you took off of, and here's a bunch of them that came off of the video camera that I have attached to this particular drive. And you'll see in some cases that here was a program I use, and it saves data off the camera using that program, and a folder underneath the pictures. Here's some pictures stored here. So I have some data stored in these things. Under video, the screen captures, this is debut. These are videos that I had stored from there. And what else do I have? That's really it. So if I look, I have documents, I have music, I have pictures, and I have videos. Okay, what I'm going, and then I have Ron down here. I don't know, that's just other stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do is come over here on the left side, and I'm going to push down the control key, and I'm going to highlight documents. Oh, I didn't do it correctly. Let's try it again. What I'm going to do is come over here on the, I'm going to come over on the C drive, and then I'm going to come down to, let's see, best way to do this. If I go to the documents, I want to get everything over there, and what I have to do that, let's see, under users and gateway, yeah, this should be the same, yeah, okay. So what you're going to do is, and I talked about users earlier, to get these files so you can copy them, the documents, the music, the pictures, and the videos, you're going to need to click on the C drive, which I did down here. Click on the C drive. Then you're going to come down to, no, that's wrong disk. You're going to come down to the local disk C drive, and then you're going to come down to what's called users. Here's users. Now I know this particular user is called gateway. You may have your name, you may have whatever, I don't know. I'm going to take this as me, open up gateway, and now I can see documents, favorites, links, music, this is my documents, pictures, and on down I have saved games, I have saved searches, I have videos. What else do I have down there? A bunch of junk. Okay, so what I'm going to do is come up to the top, and what I want, I'm going to save contacts. That would be a good one to save. I'm going to save documents. I'm going to save my favorites. I'm going to save links. I'm going to save music. There's another my documents, so I'll do that. I'm going to save pictures. I'm going to save games. This is all data, searches, videos. Okay, and there were, I think down here, there's some other, nope, that should take it. So you see what I did. I opened up users underneath of the C drive. I went to me, because I'm called Gateway, that's the name of the computer. And I found folders that some of these are, see how that's not fully, it's dimmed. That means you can't access it. But on contacts, documents, favorites, links, those are all available to me. This is actually a shortcut, so I'm going to take it out. Music, pictures, saved games, searches. What else do I want? Videos. Alright, so now I'm going to do a copy operation of those. And now I'm going to come down and go back to my, I'm going to find my drive, the Western Digital G drive, and here it is. And here is the folder I created for the backup. I'm going to right click and I'm going to do a paste operation. Now it's going to copy all the data that I have on the C drive to the external USB drive I have connected. So that's how you go about doing it. You start off on the C drive, you find the users folder. You go into the users folder, you find the folder that is you, however you named it. It may be your name, first name, last name. In my case, I just called it Gateway because that is the computer name. Underneath that, you'll see, you can find with Windows Explorer the folders that you want, and I had more than just videos and pictures and documents. I had found some other things that I want to keep, like contacts. Contacts should be for your mail program. I found some other folders that I wanted to do, and so I highlighted all of those. I did a copy, and now I'm pasting it to the USB drive that I have attached to the computer through the USB port. And you saw I saved it all underneath of the folder that I had. It had C drive backup, data backup, and the date on it. Okay, so it's in process of now copying all of that data that's on your C drive to an external drive. That means you have a copy of data. Let me talk about you can continue to use the folders that Windows set up for your use, like videos and documents and so on. That's okay. You do see the issue with it in that you have to go in, if you want to make a backup of those folders, you have to find all those folders and then copy those folders over to an external. What can happen if you ever have to, if this Windows crashes for some reason and you have to reinstall Windows? If you have the possibility of reinstalling and keeping all your files, that's what you want to do. Those folders, the videos, the pictures, the documents, they're all considered Windows folders. So if you have to do a reinstall of Windows, what's called a clean install, if you do that, it's going to wipe out all the contents in those folders. You'll lose all your data that you had. If you do a reinstall of Windows, you want to make sure that you do keep all your personal files, okay? This is true if you were do a Windows upgrade. Now, Windows automatically does what's called I forgot the term of it. It makes a shadow copy. That's what it does. It makes a shadow copy of the system the way it was before you do an update. That way, if the update doesn't work properly, you can go back to the previous working condition. A shadow copy does not keep, I don't think, actual data in those that you have in those folders. It just keeps operating system stuff, not a complete snapshot of your hard drive, C drive. Okay, so that's the reason I always argue that you should have a D drive, and you keep all your data on a D drive in folders that you organize, that you define, instead of letting Windows handle it for you. But if you're not so inclined, you can let Windows handle it, and your applications and how you set up your applications and what you create for the default directory for those applications, where you can set up image program, and maybe you do image editing. And when you set that up, it said, here's where I'm going to store images. And you may have changed that, or you may have just said, okay, it's going to go in pictures. Or if you have a video editor, when you set that up, it said, okay, this is the default place I store. Yep, back again. For some reason, the last piece I did, it went blank. I don't know what happened there. And I was still talking. Anyway, I'm going to finish this whole thing up. You get the idea. You have to have an external device, a thumb drive or a USB drive to store your data on. And you can copy the folders that you find under user. And then, as I was trying to emphasize, if you have installed applications and they ask, well, where do you want the default directory, you may have established something, and you've got to go find those folders and copy the data out of them if you didn't use what Windows provided, the videos, the music, and the documents folders. Okay, you shut everything off on the external thumb drive or USB hard drive, and the very last thing that you need to do is you need to do a eject on that drive. Any USB device that you have plugged in, before you remove it from your computer, you need to do what's called an eject. And what you do is, if you move your mouse down somewhere on the toolbar or taskbar at the bottom, or someplace else, you'll find an icon that looks like a USB drive, and you right click on it, and in this case I have it says eject USB disk 3, and all I do is, in your case, whatever you had, I was using drive G, Western Digital. It would come up down here. All you have to do is then left click on it, and then you'll get a message saying safe to remove hardware. The USB mass storage device can now be safely removed from the computer. That's what you need to do, and I'll pull out, and that's the end of your data backup. I think I kind of covered it from A to Z. Hopefully you get the idea. It's not a major deal, but I need to emphasize again that if you want your photos, your videos, your documents to be around 5 years from now or 5 minutes from now, you need to have an external copy of them. However you do it, USB thumb drive, floppy drive, I don't care how you do it. You need to do that, and you need to do it ever so often. You add photos along the year. You need to, once a year, twice a year, however often you do it, make an external USB or whatever copy of all your data on your C drive so you don't lose it. One day you'll turn on your computer and there'll be a group, it'll say, I'm not here anymore. And then what are you going to do? If you take it to Geek Squad, they may or may not make a backup of all the data they find. Sometimes it can be difficult. I usually have to take the drive out of the computer, hook it to another computer, and then do some magic to be able to get to all the pictures and videos and so on that a user may have had on that hard drive. And I've had to do that multiple times for people who said, it's broken, can you get my data off? That's all I care about, just my data. Well, it's not as easy as it sounds, particularly if you have defaulted a special directory for a video editor or a music editor or some other application. If they're all under the Windows folders of video, documents, music, whatever, then I've shown you how to do that. Just make sure you do it periodically. Don't just do it once, but do it periodically. In the case of the D drives, I do it once a year, so I can't lose any more than 1 year's worth of new data, and I try not to even lose that. Anyway, that's enough for now, and I'll add this on to my previous 21st of February 2025.